Hi, I'm Dr. Dawn Philos. I'm a veterinarian and I'm also a teacher of pet first aid and safety courses, and I have a website, askthepetvet.com. A very common topic that we discuss in class and on the website, and why we're in a kitchen today, are common foods that can be toxic to your pets. The first important thing to notice to discuss are moldy foods, which can be accessed in the trash. Animals that roam are particularly at risk because they can be exposed to foods that have been left out in the trash. The chemicals that are found in moldy foods are actually called neurotoxins. Neurotoxins can affect the central nervous system, so you can see your pets may have signs of disorientation or depression. Some can even develop convulsions or seizures, and they can be life-threatening. So any toxicity, any foods really that are in your trash bin should be kept with a lid or where your animals cannot access them. So next up, and many people have actually heard about chocolate being toxic, but are unclear about the specifics. The general rule of thumb is the more bitter and dark the chocolate, the more toxic component that it contains. So baker's chocolate, unsweetened baker's chocolate, is actually 7 times more toxic than milk chocolate. The active ingredients are theobromine and caffeine. And what can happen is it can cause signs of agitation, stomach upset, vomiting. You may even see muscle tremors, and it can be lethal in high enough doses. If you know that they ate it, try to have an idea of how much and call your vet as soon as possible. Onions, any form of onion, cooked, raw, doesn't matter the type, even dried spices, all can cause anemia in dogs and cats. And it's been shown that cats who ate baby food in a jar that was seasoned with onion powder have had signs of toxicity. Signs of anemia, you may note, are weakness, pale gums, disorientation, and when a vet is treating them, one of the treatments might involve a blood transfusion. It can be that severe. Macadamia nuts seem to cause toxicity just to dogs. We're not sure of the exact component or the mechanism. We do know that it can cause neurotoxic signs such as tremors, agitation, incoordination, and seizures. So that is something best avoided. And pizza dough, rising pizza dough or bread dough, has the potential to actually cause quite a bit of problems. And if you have it rising on your counter and your pet walks over and eats it, it's very important to act quickly. What can happen is they swallow the rising dough, and the heat of the body causes it to rise much quicker than it would at room temperature. It can rise to 7 times the size of what was originally eaten within the body, and then it produces ethanol when it does that. So what you have is sort of a 1-2 punch of a foreign body obstruction, because it is now this large mound of dough and alcohol. So you can have abdominal pain or bloating, and then you have the effect of the alcohol. Signs that you might see are incoordination or seizures. And on that note, alcohol of any form being ingested is not good, and its very small amounts can cause a problem, particularly in a small animal like a cat who might climb and lap it up from a glass. So best to keep that in mind when your pets have access. And lastly, grapes or raisins, which are more concentrated forms of grapes, can cause toxicity, kidney failure to dogs. Dogs seem to be sensitive. We don't know the exact chemical, and not all dogs are sensitive to it, but they can be, and they can be at various doses. So the rule of thumb is best to avoid any grapes or raisins. And that is something that your vet would want to know immediately. Signs of kidney failure vary. It can be depression. You may see drinking and urinating more than normal. You may see stomach upset and very weak lethargy. So it's important to act quickly on that as well, particularly if you know there was ingestion. So I hope you found this helpful, and I hope that I can help you keep your pets safe. These and other tips like it are on my website at askthepetvet.com.